Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me on this brand new set for a new edition of Business Africa. Today we put the spotlight on renewable energy solutions for Africa, and we look at the extraordinary legacy of Textile through its resellers and its new designers inspired by a rich tradition. But first, let's get on with the show with our top stories today. The solar pump facilitates access to water in a context of scarcity. In the southeast of Senegal, solar energy does more than quench the thirst of the populations.
Before it was not easy. Due to lower rainfall, the soil became degraded and there was no more land to cultivate. We were going to move away, but now thanks to solar energy, we have enough water to develop our land.
Nigeria is the African champion of cryptocurrency. We head for Abuja and its virtual financial technology hub.
University is a blockchain technology-focused company, and we are interested in seeing the blockchain technology prosper and, of course, expand within African sub-region, starting from Nigeria.
Ancestral know-how fallen into disuse and a dynamic succession. How a Beninese designer brings indigo loincloth back to life.
The indigo currently in vogue was made in record time. It takes its place entirely.
When it comes to energy transition, what will be best for Africa? This is the question that arises in the aftermath of COP28 in Dubai. Several regions on the continent have already stepped into the era of renewable energies. This is the case of Senegal, one of the countries that would like to become a leader in green energy in sub-Saharan Africa. This ambition involves the extension of solar capacity. Several projects supported by partners such as the IFAD have already been carried out for the benefit of rural populations to help them cope with water shortages. Example of the benefits of the solar pump in the southeast of the country with this report. Let's see.
Here in Senegal, a country in West Africa, these women are gathering produce from their own garden. But only a few years ago, they struggled to grow anything at all because of soil degradation and lack of water due to climate change.
Before it was not easy. Due to lower rainfall, the soil became degraded and there was no more land to cultivate. We were going to move away, but now thanks to solar energy, we have enough water to develop our land.
Solar energy is used to pump water from the wells, ensuring that the 65 women in this cooperative have a steady supply for irrigation. This is all part of a $30 million investment by the Global Environment Facility and the UN's International Fund for Agricultural Development. Improvements to irrigation systems and water management are underway, and new farming practices have a positive impact on the communities.
With the adoption of good farming techniques that are more suitable to the changed climate, the project has helped improve soil fertility, which has led to an increase in productivity, permitting the community to improve their standard of living, their health, as well as their nutrition.
One technique is to diversify production to cope with a change in climate. This provides a more varied diet with less chances of hunger if one crop fails. And with an abundant supply of water, these women are starting a new business: fish farming, a good source of protein and extra income for their families. To make the most of their yields, these women have also learned how to process their own food. Awa says they can earn more and at the same time reduce waste.
Before, parts of the garden crops were not sold and were likely to rot, but by processing products like tomato sauce or jams, we were able to make a profit and create a fund to finance other activities.
With this extra money, farmers can buy livestock and other food supplies. Awa, who was widowed 5 years ago, can now look after the 21 members of her extended family, including 8 children and 8 grandchildren.
We have had record yields, and this allowed us to rebuild our house and buy sheep. Each woman in the group has at least 4 sheep, and some have bought oxen, others furniture. This project has had a very concrete impact on our lives.
In a nearby village, more suitable crops are helping other farmers like Aja Dao make the most of their limited resources. Here, they can now grow a fast-maturing rice variety that can thrive with less rain.
Good agricultural practices and technologies have saved us. Now we have less good land, but with seeds that have short cycle and high yields, instead of farming many hectares, we farm a few and still get a large production.
Awa and Aja are among the more than 32,000 families who have improved their nutrition, health, and incomes through these changes. And, more importantly, they are now better equipped to face an uncertain future and to cope with the challenges of a changing climate.
And as you know, one of Africa's great dilemmas is to reconcile energy transition and economic development. South Africa, faced with power blackouts and significant load shedding which cripples businesses, had made the drastic decision to add nuclear power to its energy mix. The country plans to add 2,500 megawatts to its current capacity. The new reactors should be operational from 2032. Remember that South Africa's sole nuclear power facility near Cape Town is currently only operating at half its capacity due to maintenance. A decline in oil revenues is anticipated next year. As a result, the search for new fiscal resources that would allow national budgets to balance is underway. In Cameroon, a finance bill has been recently submitted to deputies, and it hunts down tax loopholes. Among the avenues considered, the option of taxing digital assets. This would involve taxing profits made on crypto assets, a solution that other countries have already adopted. Cameroon has 900,000 cryptocurrency users, far behind the more than 22 million Nigerian users. More than 2 years ago, the Central Bank of Nigeria launched the e-Naira, an official digital currency. The idea was to discourage the massive use of cryptocurrencies seen as a threat to the traditional banking system. But progress has been slow. Only in recent months, the e-Naira has seen its transactions increase by 63% to $48 million. Meanwhile, the development of cryptocurrencies that use a decentralized computer network without control from monetary authorities is thriving. Blockchain technology is at the heart of transactions, and a specialized center was established in Abuja. Let's find out with our journalist on site, Hugo Yuana.
The blockchain technology globally is opening a new vista of opportunities as a solution provider and technologically advancing our everyday life. Many players in the sector crave for a place where they can network, trade, and improve their knowledge base in a hub that is solely dedicated to the blockchain market and its technology. Recently, Convexity, the first blockchain hub in sub-Saharan Africa, was launched in Abuja, Nigeria's federal capital city. Its ambition is to checkmate the various prevailing problems in sub-Saharan Africa, with Nigeria leading the technological revolution.
Convexity is a blockchain technology focused company, and we are interested in seeing the blockchain technology prosper and of course expand within African sub-region, starting from Nigeria. We believe it's a technology that is powerful to empower Africa, and we believe it's a technology that is meant for Africans. And therefore, most of the problems we see within Africa is the technology that can liberate Africa out of most of the things that we see. And that is what explains our establishment of the first blockchain hub, to make sure we'll galvanize, resources, galvanize talents, to come co-think, co-create, and solve local problems.
Convexity's forensic laboratory have partnered with the Nigerian government in upgrading its security architecture by training various security agencies to be equipped with the knowledge to be able to tackle crimes that would emerge from this technology.
We are Africa investigative partner to Chain Analysis, one of the world-leading blockchain analytic company that gives U.S. authority support and law enforcement. We're also very much involved and in strong partnership with Blockchain Intelligence Group out of Canada. And of course, those are also people giving CIA support to investigate this infraction. So if you have this robust technology in-house in Nigeria, it makes a whole lot of sense that we have our law enforcement to understand this new technology, the new crime that will emerge as a result of this new money. And so we've been doing that. That have seen us and have some conversation and some little training for the military, and we did that specifically to the Nigerian Army Cyber Warfare Command.
Recently, Convexity held a training about tracking new forms of crimes for the Nigerian Security and Defense Corps. The Blockchain Hub is also encouraging startups by bringing together blockchain developers and entrepreneurs.
In the hub also we have a little arm that accelerate and also help startups. So we have 1 or 2 startups that we have put a little money behind them to see if they can succeed, and we also want to push them. This is hitherto what they should have been going to government to go look for. We're trying to liberate that, and a lot of solutions are coming. So we saw a lot of solutions around agriculture. We saw a lot of solutions about within finance, decentralized finance.
What we are doing at Convexity is taking out just trading from what we already know, and then bringing in the aspect of developing solutions that will be impactful to the society or to the community. So in our hub, right, we have developers that are working towards that. And so in order for us to achieve that, we are working towards a hackathon to bring developers and some startups together that will create solutions that will help the society.
Convexity has supported about 12 blockchain-powered solution startups such as DeFi, Data Integrity, Sonergy, NFT API, just to mention a few. While some are still undergoing incubation, 2 have been directly financed by Convexity.
As a startup, we came for Convexity inaugural launch and we pitched our idea to them. And they actually liked the idea. They bought into the idea and decided that they were going to fund us and incubate us in the hub. So far, we've been able to get developmental funding from them. We got a workspace, constant electricity and light, and internet asset, which has helped us to increase our development phase into our testnet stage, where we are working with developers to test run the API already.
With a first mover advantage, Convexity has opened up new opportunities in the blockchain market, which could reinforce the confidence of the various stakeholders in the solutions the technology brings. For example, blockchain technology could be widely used to fight financial corruption and ensure fair election monitoring and reporting. From ethical solutions to agricultural startups empowerment, blockchain offers a wealth of resources for emerging economies. This is an ongoing technological revolution that Convexity and Nigeria aim at lending on the African continent.
back to the second part of our show. It is time for a new default and a new debt restructuring in Africa. Ethiopia has agreed with its creditors to suspend interest payments of $33 million on a Eurobond issue. The reason? The fragility of the country's external financial position and the low level of its foreign exchange reserves. Since 2021, the country has sought to renegotiate its obligations through the Group of 20's Common Framework, which has already made progress in restructuring the debts of Zambia and Ghana. Affordable housing remains a priority for many Africans, and a solution may be in sight to increase the available supply. Shelter Afrique, a Pan-African institution that finances housing, has just announced a collaboration with the Islamic Development Bank Institute, the ISDBI. The partnership will fill in the gap in the availability of financial products to meet the challenges of real estate and urban development. Concretely, Islamic finance could encourage the expansion of rent-to-own schemes and help to reduce the significant housing deficit. And it is a great tribute to exceptional business women from Lomé and the sub-region, the Nana-Benzes, these women of Togolese origin who became famous between the 60s and the 80s for their role in the trade of loincloths and wax fabrics, will soon have their own museum. The Ministry of Culture and Tourism of Togo has just launched an architectural competition to renovate and expand an existing building intended to accommodate the new cultural institution. Rose Dede Crepi, the oldest of the Nana-Benzes and their historical figure, has passed away this year at the age of 88. And we put the spotlight now on a beautiful color, indigo, and a forgotten clothing tradition. In the world of African textiles dominated by wax, a Beninese designer is bringing up-to-date and ancestral know-how. Nadia Andele, that's her name, brings the indigo loincloth back to life thanks to new dyeing and drawing techniques. The result? Fabrics and designs that are all the rage in stores across the country and embodies the promotion of local consumption. This is a report by Zidia Sogla. Take a look.
Nadia Ndale has dusted off and brought back to life the indigo-colored loincloth commonly called eluvor in Ouida. Ouida is located 42 kilometers from Cotonou, the economic capital of Benin. Most of the indigo loincloths in Cotonou's most expensive sewing workshops and fashion boutiques come from there.
Indigo is one of the fabrics we knew in our childhood. And as I grew up, I realized that this textile was disappearing from our field of vision. And I thought, instead of letting it die, why not work on revitalizing this loincloth? Today we have brought indigo into the Ghana evening wardrobe. We have successfully brought indigo into the outfits you can wear to an international conference. We have brought indigo into the range of outfits artists, singers can proudly wear.
A real breakthrough for the promoter. Her struggle, which began in 2017, has finally found an echo among the biggest fashion houses in Cotonou. In any case, for the time being, the indigo loincloth is the clothing trend of the moment.
The indigo currently in vogue was made in record time. It takes its place entirely. When I see customers coming into my shop looking for an African piece, looking for the African style, asking what do you have, as soon as you present them with indigo, they say yes, that's interesting. Yes, that could do it for my event. More and more consumers have started to make a difference and are coming back to materials created entirely in Africa.
The indigo loincloth fashion house produces about 2,000 yards per month, tanks ranging from 2,000 to 6,000 liters to satisfy the high and growing demand. Eluvor is gaining more and more ground in the field of clothing style.
Comment je peux dire ça? Ça a été comme une...
How can I say this? It was like a revelation. My sister came one day and told me I would like to buy something from you. Can you offer an alternative, anything other than loincloths? I thought, why not indigo? So we bought some fabric and tried out some patterns. And so we started working on indigo, and I really saw the impact it had on the customers.
Nadia has the largest tank in the West African sub-region. The indigo loincloth fashion house employs over 20 Beninese women.
I wear the indigo loincloth with pride. I often say that each loincloth I wear means that more than a dozen people have worked behind it. Thanks to my purchase, I'm supporting many people, so I'm really proud to wear the indigo loincloth.
To support the promotion of this loincloth, many members of the Beninese government dressed with loincloth indigo.
What I am wearing, for example, is a collection in the color Indigo 2021. And our minister and members of the cabinet do not hesitate to wear indigo on different occasions. It's very nice. It has become very chic to wear indigo. The government has always supported it, even in an institutional way. We have been by her side when she organizes events, and we have upcoming projects together. We have plans with Nadia for 2023.
In recent years in West Africa, many initiatives have emerged to promote local consumption. These initiatives aim to curb the very high dependence on African countries on imported products, the volume of which is expected to increase by 2025 to nearly $110 billion, according to the African Development Bank. One of the solutions proposed by the experts is to exempt textile manufacturers for a certain time from customs duties and taxes on imports of production equipment and accessories that are not found in African countries.
Well, that's it. Business Africa is over for today. I'll see you next week, same time, same channel for Initiative Africa. We'll host Augustin Tomba, the mayor of Yaoundé, who will tell us about the future of sustainable housing in Africa. In the meantime, you can watch the show on our news website, africaonair.com, and follow us on all our social media networks. Please feel free to share, like, and comment using the hashtag Business Africa. Take care, happy holidays, and see you next week. Goodbye.